Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and we're fortunate to have with us the Officer of Public Information at the Tennessee Department of Corrections, Mr. Steve Hayes. And of course, Mr. Hayes, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Well, thank you very much.
And to tell you, Mr. Hayes, how delighted we are that you were able to accept our invitation to come by and to give our audience some information about the Tennessee Department of Corrections. Because I think that if you notice the newspaper almost daily, there's quite a bit of information dealing with the department. But before we do that, Mr. Hayes, let's give you an opportunity to talk about Steve Hayes, to give us some information about your background, your education, your experiences, and some of the things that eventually led you to the Public Information Officer of the Tennessee Department of Corrections. And then we'll get into some of the other issues dealing with the department.
Well, thank you, Dr. Haney. Thank you for having me. I went to Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky, a fine OVC school, graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Communications. Broadcast and television was my major, a journalism minor, and so the media was the direction that I wanted to take my career in. I worked both on the television and radio side there at the university with their on-campus television station and their on-campus radio station. Worked in the area of news, and they kind of spread their students around and like to give them a broad range of experience and so forth. From there, while I was in school as well, I worked part-time at a local radio station in that area and got some experience. Toward the end of that, got some experience in the news end of it. And once I graduated, I'd grown up in Kentucky and decided that I wanted to move south, a little bit further south than Kentucky, I guess. So I took a position in Clarksville, Tennessee, which your viewers, obviously, being in close proximity, are well aware of. A very nice town, a growing community, a good place to, I think, hone your news skills and so forth. I worked for a radio station there, WDXN Radio. Some of your viewers may be familiar with that radio station, and covered news from all angles, criminal court trials, whether it be city or county commission meetings, school board meetings, that type thing. Pretty much, you know, in a market where a news person would do almost everything. As well as, you know, Fort Campbell, Kentucky is located right there. And there are a lot of news items come out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky as well with the military and so forth. So it was a very good experience. I stayed there about 5 years. From that point, I came to Nashville with an organization called the Tennessee Radio Network, and it is a statewide radio news service. It has radio stations across the state that is affiliated with the Tennessee Radio Network, and the TRN for short supplies those stations with news, sports, weather, and programming. And I stayed there probably from 1989 to before I came to the Department of Correction, about 11 years. And part of that I spent, again, covering all kinds of statewide news, a lot of that by phone. But I did have a wonderful experience for about 3 or 4 years to cover the state legislature, the state capitol, as the Capitol reporter for that outfit. And obviously, that's where I think, I guess I got my feet a little bit wet in the political world, and it was a great experience. I was able to cover the 1992 Republican Convention in Houston, Texas as part of that, and that was a wonderful experience as well. That brought me to about well, let's see, I guess it was year 2000, and I sought out the position with the Department of Correction, looking for, I guess, a different type challenge, and I've not been disappointed in that at all.
Very good. You know, with your news background and dealing with the Department of Corrections, let's have you to give us some information about the Department of Corrections, the Tennessee Department of Corrections as an entity. That is, to talk about the facilities and that kind of information that you would expect the public to be aware of from this kind of show.
Well, Dr. Haney, I think the public is not aware of what the Department of Correction consists of. There are a lot of misconceptions about prisons, prison systems, and here in Tennessee, the Tennessee Department of Correction. We consist of 14 prison complexes across the state, from Mountain City to Memphis, Tennessee. About 6 of those are maximum security prisons. 2 of those 14 complexes are for female offenders. The other 12 are primarily for male offenders. I might mention we have Brushy Mountain Correctional Complex in Petros, Tennessee, and near Morgan County, the Northeast Correctional Complex in Mountain City, Tennessee. I'm not sure we want to go through all 14 of them.
You know, just talk about them because,
in Bledsoe, Pikeville, we have the Southeastern Tennessee Regional Correctional Facility. That's the facility with the longest name in the system.
Okay.
And we have several institutions here in Davidson County, of course. We have Riverbend Maximum Security Institution, where death row is located.
We're familiar with that.
The Tennessee Prison for Women, which is the maximum security facility for women in the state. The Lois M. DeBerry Special Needs Facility, which is our medical and mental health facility for male inmates. And the Middle Tennessee Correctional Complex is also located here in Davidson County. And I'll refer back to that in a moment. It is one of our reception centers where we intake new or new to the system convicted state felons. In West Tennessee, we have the Northwest Correctional Complex up in the northern corner, Tiptonville. We have the West Tennessee State Penitentiary in Henning, Tennessee. We have the Mark Luttrell Correctional Center, which is the other female offender facility. That's located in Memphis, Tennessee. And in Hardeman County, we have the Hardeman County Correctional Facility as well as the Wayne County Boot Camp. And then we have the South Central Correctional Facility in Clifton, Tennessee. That's in Wayne County. Also, I almost forgot Turney Center, which is located in Only, Tennessee. So that's our facilities. I hope I didn't leave one out. I will go into the reception centers a little bit more. The Middle Tennessee Correctional Complex, Brushy Mountain Correctional Complex, and West Tennessee State Penitentiary are the 3 reception centers for the department. Those are the centers where the local jails will send their convicted state felons to initially for processing, classification, and then at some point we will decide their classification level and then assign them permanent housing either at that facility or another facility.
Now, how many inmates do you have combined in all 14 of these facilities?
In the 14 prison complexes under the Tennessee Department of Correction, currently it's, I would say, let's say it fluctuates between 17,500 and 18,000 inmates currently.
Is that high or low for Tennessee, for a state of what? I mean, how does that compare with other states, for example, in the Southeast?
Well, I would just, and I did take a quick look at that. That's not something that, you know, I normally look at, but Illinois, for example, has 44,000 inmates. Kentucky has only 15,000. The state of Florida has around 75,000. And of course, Texas, one of the larger ones, has well over 100,000 inmates.
And so we're not either high or low.
No, we're somewhere probably in the middle of the pack toward the maybe probably just the middle of the pack, I would say. Also, let me say real quickly those figures that for the other states include the felon population in local jails, which I have not included in ours.
And of course, we're getting ready for our first commercial break here, Mr. Hayes. After